Hi friends, in this video also we will see some more questions from your examination point of view, AMVI TSPSC or APPSC automobile engineering. What is the purpose of the fan provided in the engine cooling system? So this is basically he is referring to the water cooling system. Out of the two cooling systems, air cooling system and water cooling system, he is referring to the fan. Of course, it can be used in your air cooling system also. Let us see. So what is the purpose of the fan provided in the engine cooling system? Is it to increase the flow of the coolant, to draw the air through the radiator, to cool the engine by blowing air over it, to provide a drive to the water pump? So what is the correct answer for this? The correct answer is B, to draw the air through the radiator. So definitely radiator is used in the water cooling system of the automobile cooling systems. So in this your this particular fan will be drawing the air through the radiator, so that the hot water flowing through the radiator from top header to the bottom header will be cooled. So correct answer is B. Next, besides CO2 fire extinguisher, which type of the fire extinguisher can be used on electrical fires? Various types of extinguishers are existing, like foam, CTC, dry chemical, soda acid. So but he is referring to the not only just that means besides apart from CO2 fire extinguisher, any other extinguisher is there or used, can be used for electrical fires, he is asking. So the correct answer is dry chemical extinguisher, neither the foam, CTC or soda. So dry chemical extinguisher is used in addition to the CO2 fire extinguisher, which is normally used on electrical fires. What tool should be preferred? What tool should be preferred when cylinder head bolts are to be tightened? Okay, is it open-ended spanner? So these are the different types of spanners: open-ended, torque spanner, ring spanner, and adjustable spanner. Right. So correct answer is for this is B, torque spanner. Torque spanner, because actually we have to apply the torque to tighten the cylinder head bolts. That's why a torque spanner is used. Right. The welding machine which converts AC supply to DC welding supply is it motor generator set, engine generator set, or rectifier set, or welding transformer? Transformer, actually there are two types of transformers: step up transformer and step down transformer. Step up transformer increase the voltages, increase the voltage from primary to secondary coils. Step down transformer decrease the voltage from primary to secondary coil. Right, it is actually the rectifier. Rectifier is meant for converting AC to DC. So these are only two given are given to only confuse you: motor generator set or engine generator set. It's totally a different concept. Generator, starter, these are also used along with the your automobile, in the automobile, for meeting the electrical needs. Right. So actually your automobile needs a DC supply. So for this conversion from AC to DC, okay, which is normally AC is produced in the alternator. So in the alternator, once the AC is produced, it will be converted to DC with the help of a rectifier set. So the correct answer is rectifier set. Right. What type of logic valve is a shuttle valve? So these are all the logic operations. We know that OR and NOR and NAND. Okay. So what type of logic valve he is asking? A shuttle valve is. Is it OR gate or AND gate or NOR gate or NAND gate? It is actually OR gate, OR operation, OR operation. Right. Lapping is a process for finishing. Lapping is basically a finishing operation. But is it for only external surfaces or internal surfaces, or external and internal surfaces both alike, or flat surfaces only? It is actually, it can be used as a finishing operation. There are super finishing operations also, friends, like burnishing, etc. But this is simply a finishing operation, because actually when a hole is made in the a plate by the drilling machine, so normally the internal surface is not that smooth or finish is not that good. So to finish that, we are doing some lapping operation. So lapping is a finishing operation, but it can be used for both internal and external surface alike. The composition of silver solder is. This is once again an alloy, friends. Let us see the composition. The composition of silver solder is, it is silver, copper and zinc. The elements in the silver solder are silver, copper and zinc. We know that copper and zinc is a brass. Copper and tin is bronze. So along with brass, if silver is added, it is going to give silver solder. There are various types of solders are there, friends. Medium solder, something like that. There are various types of solders are there, depending upon the percentage of the constituents, 60, 40, 50, 50, something like that. Alright, 70, 30, etc. Alright, now a diesel engine usually emits excessive smoke during starting, idling, accelerating or decelerating. So these are the various engine operations: starting, idling and acceleration and decelerating. Decelerating means you are actually applying the brake, your vehicle speed is coming down. Accelerating means you are shifting from third gear to top gear or from second gear to third gear, etc. Okay, friends. Starting means you have put the ignition key, your engine has not started yet. Idling means your engine has started but it is not moving. Okay, you have not gone into the gear. So you have just let us say your engine is in the neutral. Let us say that's called your idling operation. Engine will be running but vehicle is not in motion. So during which operation stage, or starting or idling or accelerating or decelerating, a diesel engine usually emits excessive smoke. Is it starting, idling, accelerating or decelerating? It is during accelerating that stage that your diesel engine emits excessive smoke. Which one of the following fuel injection systems was originally used in large stationary marine engines? Is it air injection, airless injection, mechanical injection or solid injection? These are the various types of fuel injection systems in the diesel engine: air injection, airless injection, mechanical injection, solid injection. But which type is used in the large stationary marine engines is asking. It is actually the air injection. So in which air at high pressure is used. For this purpose, a compressor is also used in the system. Right. Next, a smoky blue exhaust from an engine is due to various types of smokes are there from engines, friends, like blue smoke, your black smoke, white smoke, etc. But is asking the reason for blue exhaust from the engine. What's the reason? Is it lean mixture? That means a mixture containing more than 14.5 parts of air and 1 part of fuel. For example, 16:1, that is called lean mixture. Anything is less than 14.5, that's called rich mixture, something like 10:1, etc. 14.5:1, A by F ratio, that's called stoichiometric air fuel ratio. So he is asking, is that the cause, or excessive fuel consumption, or burning of oil in the combustion chamber, or incorrect valve adjustment? It is burning of oil in the combustion chamber, because if there is any leakage in the lubricating oil system, then along with the fuel, your oil also will burn in the combustion chamber. That will lead to the emission of smoky blue smoke from the exhaust of the engine. Right. Next, what is the purpose of scavenging in a diesel engine? To maintain the fuel consumption, to maintain power output, to maintain speed, or to maintain oil pressure? It is for maintaining the power output that a scavenging in diesel engine is used. It is pushing out all the exhaust gases, remaining exhaust gases in the engine exhaust. In an engine, piston stroke length and bore diameter are equal. This type of engine is called, so he is referring to the L by D ratio, stroke length. L is the stroke length and D is the bore or the piston diameter or the cylinder inside diameter. Both are equal, yes or no? So now, if the L by D ratio is equal to 1, what type of engine it is? It is low speed engine, over square engine, under square engine or square engine? It is square engine. If the L by D ratio is less than 1, it is called under square engine. If it is more than 1, it is called over square engine. If it is equal to 1, or that is equal to L is equal to D, that is stroke length is equal to bore or diameter of the piston, or is cylinder inside diameter, then it is called square engine. What will happen if cam lobes are worn out? So cams are used for engine valve operation, funds, for opening and closing of your inlet valves and outlet valves, exhaust valves, right? So what will happen if cam lobes are worn out? Volumetric efficiency will decrease, valve opening height will decrease or increase, valve clearance will increase, or engine life will decrease. So what will happen? It is going to cause volumetric efficiency will decrease. So what is volumetric efficiency? It is the actual volume of air intake into the cylinder by the theoretical volume of the air that can be filled in the engine cylinder. So this is going to decrease if the cam lobes are worn out. That means a less amount of air fuel mixture will be intake into the cylinder. What heat treatment process a crankshaft is subjected? This is a good question, friends. Is it carburizing, tempering, annealing, or nitriding? So this is actually, it is nitriding. Nitriding. This is the one of the hardening processes. What is hardening process? It is the increase of the hardness of the surface layer of a mechanical component or element. This type of treatment normally will be given to the symmetrical objects like flywheels, like gears, the pulleys, etc. Right? So nitriding, if you are hardening in the atmosphere of nitrogen, it's called nitriding. If it is hardening, your surface layer is hardened to certain depth from the periphery. So in the atmosphere of carbon, it's called carburizing. If it is in both the atmospheres, hardening process is taking place in both the nitrogen and carbon atmosphere, that is called what you call cyaniding. Cyaniding, carbon, C, and nitrogen. So but actually if it is only in the presence of nitrogen, that's called nitriding, and this is the heat treatment process given to the crankshafts. It's a hardening process, friends. Right. The contamination of lubricating oil in an engine takes place due to, which could be the cause for this? Worn out piston and piston rings, worn out connecting rod bearings, loose gudgeon pin. What is gudgeon pin? The pin which is connecting the piston with the connecting rod. So other way, right side, we have a pin connecting the crank and connecting rod. That's called crank pin. Gudgeon pin also called piston pin, and also a wrist pin, friends. Okay. So now what could be the reason the contamination of the lubricating oil in an engine takes place due to? Or the final one is high pressure in lubrication system. So the correct reason for this is worn out piston and piston rings. Piston and piston rings worn out for various reasons, or a continuous operation for, let us say, longer time. So your piston will be worn out, or piston rings are also worn out, right? So this could lead to the contamination of lubricating oil in the engine. That means there is a leakage across the piston and piston rings. Actually it's a tight fit. The fit between the engine cylinder walls and the piston is a tight fit because of the presence of the piston rings. If there is any gap between these piston rings, etc., or whatever it is, so there is the lubricating oil will be supplying the lubricating oil for lubricating the various parts. It will be leaking through, and definitely it will be contaminated if the piston and piston rings are worn out for many reasons. The dial bore gauge graduations are marked in both clockwise and anti-clockwise directions so as to measure tolerance, actual dimension, allowance, or deviation. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is deviation. Deviation. Tolerance. They are all the metrological terms, friends. So right. So major something like so there is some plus or minus clearance, dimensions, allowance, right? So these are the high side dimension and a low side dimension, minimum dimension and maximum dimension. Something like minimum material condition, maximum material conditions, all these things are there. It is basically a metrology question, friends, but it is actually the correct answer is the deviation. Deviation from the standard size. Okay, it can be plus or minus. Let us say 35 mm plus or minus 0.03 mm, something like that. Okay, maximum dimension is 35.03 mm, minimum dimension is 34.97 mm, something like that. So it is going to give the deviation. So the dial bore gauge graduations are marked in both clockwise and anti-clockwise direction so as to measure deviation. Which instrument is used to check taper and ovality of crankshaft journal? Inside caliper, micrometer, bore gauge, or feeler gauge? What's the correct answer? The correct answer is micrometer. Just a minute, friends. The correct answer is micrometer. Micrometer is used to inside caliper is going to measure the outside dimension, something like that. Okay, yes or no? Right, inside diameter or like that, outside caliper, etc. Right, feeler gauge is normally used to measure the clearance between two parts, mechanical parts, minute clearance. For example, cylinder piston and cylinder wall, like that. Not the bore gauge. So the correct answer is micrometer is used for measuring the taper and ovality of the crankshaft journal. Journal and shaft are both are the synonyms. Right. The flywheel in an engine stores energy during power stroke and supplies during idle strokes. Where it is located? At front end of the crankshaft, at rear end of the crankshaft, in middle of the crankshaft, and near the vibration damper. So, put in a simple word, it can be described as a mechanical capacitor, something like a electrical capacitor. What is the purpose of electrical capacitor? It is going to charge and discharge during the circuit, electrical circuit. Similarly, your flywheel will be acting as a mechanical capacitor. It absorbs the energy during the excess energy time, and it is going to supply energy during the less energy duration. Something like, for example, in the power stroke we are going to have a lot of energy. In other strokes we don't have any energy produced in the engine. Yes or no? So it is going to absorb the energy during the power stroke. It is going to supply during the other strokes like suction, compression, and exhaust stroke. So where it is located actually, he is asking. It is located at rear end of the crankshaft. Rear end of the crankshaft. So after crankshaft only we will be installing a flywheel, and after that we will have a clutch, then gearbox, then this all I am describing the transmission system in an automobile. Okay, engine, flywheel, clutch, gearbox, universal joint, propeller shaft, universal joint, and differential. That's your final drive. Okay friends, so in this video also we have seen some good questions which are useful from your examination point of view, AMVI, and in the next video we are going to come up with or discuss some more good questions, very good questions which are useful for your examination point of view, AMVI, both APPSC and TSPSC. Automobile engineering, I am offering online batches. If you are interested, you can call me on the number which I am providing in the description box. See you all very shortly.